I got the blues, guess you know what
Hello everybody, and welcome once again to another podcast. This is podcast number 6.
Number 6.
I think
I
it's
can't
number
believe
6.
it already 6. Excellent.
Yes, well I think 5 was last time, so I'm guessing.
But you studied maths, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. Do you know I failed O-level maths 4 times on the run?
That's why you didn't know it was number 6.
I didn't know. Well done. Anyway, thank you, Ian. Excellent.
So, we're going to have a slightly shorter podcast.
Well, that's what
usual.
you say.
As always.
Yes,
as
quite
always,
so.
we're going to have a shorter one.
We are.
And this is the eve of the Hexmen.
It is. Now, it's pretty exciting, that is, actually, isn't it? And the bookings have gone very, very well, haven't they, Ian?
Yeah, they have gone. We're pretty much sold out at the time of making this podcast. By the time we finish the podcast, I'm pretty sure we could well be sold out altogether.
That is fantastic, of course, except for those of you who haven't got a ticket.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do my very best to tell everybody you need to be getting your tickets early on. Early on. Because we're having a lot of people disappointed, and what can you do about that?
There's nothing you can do, I'm afraid, Ian. You can't build an instant extension on the building.
Yeah. So what I say to people, if you're not really connected to the internet, is just phone me. Phone me, and we can sort something out that way.
Yeah. Good idea.
That is absolutely fine. But I mean, then again, if you're not really connected to websites and the internet, you're probably not listening to this podcast. So.
Excellent logic. Ian. Do you know, I never thought of that.
Probably doesn't help.
Yeah, quite so. It's like these, when you get up on stage and you say, "Can you all hear me?"
So what I would say is that if you know somebody who wants to come to Wirral Blues Club, and you're listening to this podcast because you do use the internet and know how it all works, sort of thing, could just let them know.
Please tell them.
They can phone us. Yeah. Because the phone number is on the website.
It's on the website. So all they've got to do is go on the internet. Yeah.
Tell them to get on the internet. Go on the website and phone us.
But in compensation, if you don't get a ticket for the Hexmen, which will be very disappointing for you, there are 2 events next month, aren't there?
2 events.
2 events. So you've got a double chance next month of getting in.
Yes.
So what have we got next month, Ian?
Dave Spate.
Yes, superb.
Dave Spate, and as I've said many times before, master bluesman.
Yep, absolutely. Very lucky to get him.
Yes, and he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
For England.
Excellent.
And if he's any good,
he'll
be in the Hall of the Wirral Blues Club Hall of Fame also.
Yeah, which is he'll be lucky to get in that though. Won't
yes,
he?
I think it's a bit it's getting more prestigious, really.
Yes, it is really
in many ways.
Oh yes. Yes, indeed.
Because at least it's voted for by the audience. So the audience is the people who say whether they're allowed in the Hall of Fame or the Hall of Shame.
Yeah, exactly.
Luckily, we haven't got anybody in the Wirral Blues Club Hall of Shame just yet.
No, that would be, Well, it's never going to happen, is it?
Well, you never know.
Well, you never know, but you're picking the bands, aren't you?
Yes.
So therefore it's your fault.
So if somebody is in the Hall of Shame, it's my fault.
It is, absolutely.
I'll be in there with them.
Yeah, you will be, actually.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever put Ethelred's Bluesmen up for the Wirral Blues Club Hall of Fame?
No, but
I dare you.
No, but often we've been in the Hall of Shame and our own sort of Hall of Shame.
Yes.
when we've done some pretty poor performances.
Self-imposed.
Yes. But I mean, to be honest, that was a long time ago.
Of course it would.
We try not to do poor performances.
Decent of you, very decent of you.
Well, one has to, try and get with the script.
Of course.
But anyway, I think it is time for Let's Play the Jingle.
Oh yes, do. I love this. Go on.
Featured artist.
Do it. Let's play the jingle.
It's done. The jingle has been played.
Oh.
It is a good jingle, isn't it?
It's a very good jingle. It's
I spent at least 2 to 3 minutes putting that together.
You're joking.
No,
I've never known you spend so much time on constructing anything.
Perfection is what it's all about.
Of course it is. Of course, you're a professional. There we are. Yeah. So...
Right, so who are we talking about this week?
Well, I thought we might give a mention to Otis Rush.
Otis Rush.
Yes, Otis Rush. Because he's a seminal bluesman and with connections with, I keep going on about it, but it's very important, as we are a British blues club,
yes.
It's very important that we understand where this British blues movement of the early 60s all came from. And whilst Otis Rush isn't a man particularly of the 60s, he was born in 1934, nevertheless he had a massive influence on British blues and American blues, to be honest. American white blues, that is, of course, I mean.
Okay.
Now, he was born in 1934, as I said, American blues guitarist, singer and songwriter, and had a very distinctive guitar style featuring a slow-burning sound and long-bent notes.
Slow-burning sounds and long-bent notes.
And this, I'm sure you can picture it.
Yes.
Oh, well, you can do it, can't you? On your harmonica.
Oh, on a harmonica, yes.
On your harmonica, you can do it. Yeah, exactly. And this type of sound became known as the West Side Chicago blues sound.
See, there you go.
So he invented it. Yes. Well, this had a major influence on many 60s blues guitarists, including Mike Bloomfield, excellent, of Electric Flag, of course, Peter Green, yes, who we've already done on our podcasts,
yes.
and Eric Clapton himself. So, there you are. The other, perhaps unusual thing about Otis Rush, he was left-handed guitar player. So he strung his guitar upside down, as it were.
Well, as you would do.
As you would do, of course. Yes. So there you are. And there you are. He also had a rather melodious tenor voice. So there you go. So he wasn't one of these grumpy types. He was more of a Pavarotti style. Yes. Well, not exactly, but similar. Anyway, so where was he born? He was born, like so many bluesmen, in Mississippi. And he was the son of farmers, Julia Campbell Boyd and Otis C. Rush. He had 6 brothers and sisters, and he worked on his farm throughout his childhood. By the age of 8, he taught himself to play the guitar, and he was singing in the church choir. Have you ever sung in a church choir, Ian?
No, I haven't ever sung in a church choir. No.
No, never.
No, well, I mean, only at school.
Only it's
and I always used to do the Christmas festival.
The carol service and all that.
Because you used to get out of lessons. I seem to remember that.
That's it.
If you volunteered to be in the choir at Christmas time.
Correct. Yes, I do vaguely remember that. I was bullied into our local church choir at the age of about 10, fully knowing I couldn't sing, in tune at all. But I was bullied into it. They were obviously short, and thought, well, anyone can sing. Well, they can't, actually. And I remember the choir master cruelly lining us all up and coming along with a tuning fork and going, bing! And then you had to sing that note. And he said, I know one of you is singing out of tune. And I knew it was me. And it was like waiting to be executed. You're like waiting in this line as this evil choir master came along. And of course, it was me. It was bing! And I went, oh no, I did that in tune. Sorry. Oh, blast. I can't sing out of tune anymore. Traumatized. Anyway, there we are. So he sang in the church choir. However, the family moved to Chicago in 1948, and so Otis Rush Jr. Began playing in blues clubs in the city and started recording for Cobra Records in the mid-1950s, releasing 8 singles, mostly featuring Ike Turner on guitar.
Oh, right.
Are we allowed to mention Ike Turner?
Well, you'll have to, won't we?
We'll have to. It's a fact.
Yes.
It's a fact. Yes, indeed. Right. Well, there you go. His first single, real blues classic, I Can't Quit You, Baby, which, of course, was covered by Led Zeppelin,
yes,
amongst many, many other people. That reached in 1956 number 6 on the Billboard R&B charts. Further Cobra hits were Double Trouble and All Your Love. All Your Love was also covered by Led Zeppelin in their early days. Cobra Records closed down in 1959, so I'm not sure how much money Otis Rush made for them. Probably not enough if they closed down. So Rush signed up with the excellent Chess Records, which we mentioned many times before.
Yes.
He recorded 8 numbers with them, 6 of which feature on the 1969 album Door to Door. In 1962, he recorded the single Homework, and the B-side of that was I Have to Laugh with Duke Records, and by 1965 he was recording for Vanguard Records and touring the USA and Europe. In 1969, his album Morning in the Morning, that's morning like in death, morning, in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah, it was released by Cotillion Records and was produced by Mike Bloomfield and Nick Gravanites of Electric Flag. Wow. So now we've got the sort of connection with the White Blues guys.
Yeah.
1971, he recorded the album Right Place, Wrong Time for Capitol Records, but Capitol did not release it. It was only released, in fact, in 1976 after Rush purchased the master from Capitol and had it released by Peavine Records in Japan, of all places. I have tried my best to find out what went on there, but I've got no idea. No idea whatsoever.
But I don't know why we're paying you, if this is the case.
I know. My meticulous research has fallen down here. Sorry about that, yeah. Well, oddly enough, by the end of the 70s, he'd completely stopped performing and recording. And again, I've no idea why that happened either. Oh, right, he just completely dropped out of the scene altogether. Now, normally at this point, I'd tell you some terrible tale of some affliction that he'd got. You know,
would.
Yeah, yes, I would, because that's the usual thing.
Yes.
But no,
I was looking forward to that as well.
Well, wait, 5 minutes time. We may get to that. But in 1985, he made a comeback with a US tour and the release of a live album called Tops, recorded live at the San Francisco Blues Festival. He then carried this on with studio albums in the 1990s until his last studio recording, Any Place I'm Going, in 1998. And even after that last recording, he carried on with live performances. So I don't know what suddenly brought him back, why he needed that break. I remember one blues artist. Now, my brain's going, but possibly it was Ma Rainey, in the 20s and 30s. And she just stopped performing and became a nurse in a local hospital for about 20 years and then started again. Right. I'm not swearing it's Ma Rainey. People will be shouting, no, it wasn't, it was, But anyway, it was one of those early women blues artists.
Yes.
Well, there we are. So he came back. Maybe he was short of money. Maybe he'd retired, in the 70s and came back when he found he hadn't accumulated enough money. I don't know what the answer is.
Well, if anybody knows, please leave this in the comments.
Oh, please do.
If you're listening to this on YouTube.
Yes, please do. Yes, that would. Yes, I'd be very interested to find out.
Or you could even comment on this on the website.
Great. Oh, well, that's useful anyway. Yes. So it's interactive, is it?
Well, yes. I mean, if somebody likes to comment, you can always comment on the website.
Yeah.
On any information that they may have, which may help.
Yeah.
Or on Facebook.
Yep.
Any of these things, it all helps.
Super. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's many ways to reach the Wirral Blues Club.
Yes, and we need to find out the mystery of the blues.
We do, and that's our mission. Yes. Now, I've got to get to the sad bit now. Okay. Oh. So, sadly.
Oh, crikey.
In 2003, he suffered a stroke, and he did not play again. His last public performance was at the Chicago Blues Festival on the 12th of June, 2016, and that was in Grant Park in Chicago. I've been there, not at that time, however, but I was actually in Chicago in 2016, but not on this occasion.
Right.
The Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel honoured Rush's appearance by declaring June the 12th to be Otis Rush Day in Chicago. Unfortunately, Otis did not play that day due to his ongoing health problems, and he died 2 years later on September the 29th, 2018, from complications resulting from a stroke. The Jazz Foundation of America honoured Otis Rush with a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2018. I assume before he died. Yeah, well, I don't know. Not necessarily, I suppose, but you'd like to think he heard he got it. Mm-hmm. And the citation with it was for a lifetime of genius and leaving an indelible mark in the world of blues and the universal language of music. And who wouldn't want as a musician to have that said about them.
Quite right.
It's been said about you many times, Ian.
I'm sure it hasn't. I don't know who said it many times, but
I'm going to say it on Friday.
Oh, right. Pure madness. Well, that's it.
Yeah. So there we are. So that's Otis Rush for you.
Otis Rush, that's another one off the list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tick,
yes. There's only about 5,000 more to go here.
Fantastic.
So we're going to have to live a long, long time to get through this all.
Yeah.
But, well, tomorrow. So what time does it start tomorrow?
Doors open at 7 o'clock.
Excellent.
Music starts at 7:30.
Yep. And we've got a quiz too.
Quiz time, halfway through.
Yeah, our second quiz. Great. Good prizes, are there?
Yes, the prizes are, it's going to be 2 tickets.
Yes.
2 tickets. So what we do with these prizes, we give 2 tickets away for our next concert.
Yeah.
Or the concert after if you're not available for that one. But it has to be the club nights. It can't, not the extra special nights.
Oh no, it can't be the extra special.
No, because the extra special nights are extra special.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, they're all special.
Of course they're all special. We know that.
But the tickets for the club nights, which is the first Friday of every month.
Yeah.
So we normally it's either the next one or the one after that.
Yeah.
So
well worth taking part.
Yeah. So the tickets.
But is it expensive to take part?
It is expensive. It's £2 for the team.
£2 for a team?
For an entire team.
Yeah, my goodness. That could work out as much as 50p each, though.
Yes, but we do try to say, well, if you could just keep your teams to a maximum of around 4 people or something.
Absolutely.
It's unfair if you've got a party of 15.
Yeah, quite so. Quite so. Yeah. Yeah.
So what we do with the tickets is it admits two tickets plus 2 guests.
Wow.
I know.
Hey, that's good.
And what we ask is that if you happen to win, if you're genius enough to win.
Yeah, and you'd have to be.
Yes. If you're genius enough to win, then we ask you to bring 2 guests with you who would not normally come to a blues night. Or never probably been to Wirral Blues Club before, wouldn't normally.
Excellent.
To introduce those people. So that's what we do.
Yeah, and we we interview those people before we let them in to check they know nothing about the blues.
Well, it's exactly what we do. We interview them, we find out about them, and we give them a quiz. Yeah,
exactly. Yes, well, of course, they'd be hopeless in the quiz as part of that team of 4, though, wouldn't they? That's the problem. So once you've won 2 tickets, basically you're doomed not to win a second time.
There you go.
Yeah. So fiendishly clever, Ian. Fiendishly clever.
So that's the thing. So if you do win, then okay. If the people, if you bring 2 guests with you and they have been, then they are blues fans. That's fair enough. We don't mind. Yeah. But our thing is all about promoting blues, and we really want to be able to ask people to bring people with them who. Not necessarily. Yeah,
absolutely. You need to spread the word of the gospel.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, time has caught us up, sadly.
Sadly.
So we're gonna bring this one to a close.
Yeah. And hopefully see you tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully. Or if you're listening to this next week.
See you in October.
Yes. Yes,
definitely. I'll see you tomorrow, though, Ian. I hope
you will indeed. So, thanks, thanks, Richmond, for for doing yet another brilliant bit of research and bringing our podcast to life.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Ian, for inviting me.
Yes,
always.
I will see you all next time.
Yeah.
See you soon. Bye.
Very good.